Good morning and welcome in, everyone. Before we get into this morning's update, let's take a quick look at the overview of the market right now. Right now, XRP is down 1.75%, but as we've seen, we had a significant fall here as we came down from $2.90, what was this? Actually, it hit 302 for a brief second here. So on Sunday, it hit 302. And we had about a 27% drop here. Now, we did have the news that Trump talked about the XRP being part of the strategic reserve, but we know it's just a panel right now that he signed, so nothing has happened yet. But I believe a lot of this might have been a little bit of help for the institutional investors to have a little bit of a rug pull here. We know that Trump's going to talk about the tariffs today. There's been a lot of misinformation about it being on April 7th. There is another meeting about further tariffs, but there are other ones set for today. So that's going to be news we're going to have to see. We're going to have to see exactly how true this whole reserve is. And we're going to just have to see the fundamental understanding of what's going to happen going forward. But as of right now, crypto did get hit very hard. Very hard. And it was my biggest fear on Sunday. I said a lot of people that wouldn't have been enticed to buy, once they see that big rally, it's going to be a big FOMO moment. And then they're going to find themselves down. We don't even know how much after, once it goes back down to retracement or if it just sells out. And that, unfortunately, that's what started happening. But it doesn't appear that this is just going to break down. Like, that's the thing. I don't think we're just going to break down here. I think H-bar is more than just an outlier here. I think most of the market's going to have a similar recovery. And it might not even be a great recovery. But Bitcoin did have to fill a CME gap that it's filled now. So now that it came down here, we'll see if this continues the trajectory, because it does look in the shorter time frames like Bitcoin wants to come to that 74K at some point. That was a target out there. We did come down to the first target at 78,452 roughly. I think we had it at 78,400. I just moved it up a little bit where that support structure is now. But we had an initial target before we had that short-term drop at 74,142. So I still think that's in play, especially with how we've come down. Ethereum is the part of this equation that should make you feel like, okay, something's not right here. Because we know Ethereum came out of, well, let me show you the good and the bad. Ethereum had a rising, some are calling it a symmetrical triangle here. But I think it's more like a rising, broadening wedge. I can't help it. And it fell out of it. The technical target was 1,979. And initially, it didn't hit it back here on the January. But now, all of a sudden, yesterday, or today on today's candle, it actually hit our target at 1,979. So now that drop-off, falling out of that channel, the technical drop has happened. The only thing that can happen now is that rising wedge plays true. And we could come all the way down to $496. And you would get a big, big hindrance here if Ethereum came down below 1,979. That would be brutal. Fortunately, it's recovered by about $100 an ounce, or $100 per token right now. But let me do the intro, and we'll talk a little deeper on XRP, and then I'll let this be released because I got to get my son to school. Got to leave here a little bit earlier as we're at the hotel. And, you know, nothing's as easy when you're staying away from home. So, but everything's going okay, best I guess it could be. So good morning, 7:37 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Tuesday, March 4th, 2025. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. Let me tell you guys a story. So when we talk about banking liquidity, I've talked about it over and over and over. To use your debit cards now, and this is through Chase, so not just some schlub hole, $5,000 a day on a debit card, unless you do an ACH or a direct payment through your bank account. My debit card, when I went to pay for my house repairs yesterday, they would only let me do $5,000 a day on the debit card. And I had to pay 8,000 something. So they had to take 5,000 yesterday, and they got to take a little bit today. Like, that's how the banking system's going. And they said they're running into it all the time now, so this isn't the first. And they had a client come in that was trying to pay $10,000, and they showed them their balance of over $300,000, and the bank still, because they were using a debit card, would only let them do $5,000 a day. So if you're looking for big purchase, make sure you understand that liquidity crunch right now. I even called and talked to them, and they said it's because the bank only makes available for the debit cards now $5,000 a day, which is pretty insane. So that's what kind of liquidity crunch you have. So just because the account might show $10, $20, $50,000, $5,000 a day if you're using your debit card is what you can spend in the USA on most accounts. And then I tried a different account and it was the same thing from a different area. So when people ask why I don't keep a lot of money in the bank, liquidity crunches. And when you have money there and they won't let you use it, got to ask yourself what's really going on. So it's another reason why crypto for me is another way of moving money and precious metals and owning, you know, investments. It's a way to get it out of the bank, and then as you need it, you withdraw it. Like, it's that simple. It's a pretty weird game we're playing right now in the USA, and I'm assuming this is worldwide, but in the USA it's getting really bad. But anyhow, be that as it may, we've got with XRP. The best way I can show this is not even to show this chart. The best way I can show this for everybody who's trying to figure this out is right here. We got rejected up here at 248 now. And now if we continue to come down, there is a real possibility if this breaks down that you could come down and retest this $1.92 area. And then it could be even worse than that. But if you look at it from a slightly different perspective, I suppose you could say we had a support, and you could start looking at it like this and see how it meets. Maybe it tightened the symmetrical triangle. So, but it is still very much within a broadening wedge. And the fact that we got resisted here in the symmetrical resistance is not a great sign. Not a horrible sign because we haven't broken down. But we do need today to be a volume day, and we need to start flowing like H-bar. The problem with today is we've got the tariff talk, but after the dump yesterday, I still feel like this is a trap. I still feel like overall, because of March 7th, I think March 7th will be a good day. I could be wrong, but I think it'll be a good day. So I think we're dumping out a lot, but I still see a good setup here. Imagine if we wouldn't have had that pump and then we just dump like this, it would have been over. So the fact that we pumped up to $3 and then had this big correction down of 27%, this is actually a good scenario if we had the dump. Because outside of that push up, imagine we didn't have that big surge of 35%. XRP would be sitting down at that $1.50. If Trump wouldn't have made that tweet, we would probably be sitting down at $1.50. And I'm not saying like it's Trump controlling it, but they needed some kind of catalyst to make it look like they were pushing a lot of money. And they used Trump's tweet, you know, to instill the fact that they could put so much money into the market. So I'm not saying it's because of Trump. I'm just saying they used that as the catalyst, even though it was meant to do what it was going to do either way. But I think H-bar, again, is more than just an outlier. I think H-bar is leading the way here. And right now we got to get over that 24.6 cents. Last time we got over, couldn't hold it, and we had that drop again. But I think H-bar could be an outlier here. And now at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, because we were dumping all night, there is a chance we can reverse. So we'll see. The bottom line is here, we can't lose $2.25. Otherwise, we could start trickling back down. It's that simple. If we lose that, we could trickle back down. So we're better off taking the up route here. XRP is better off taking the up route. With Bitcoin, we know at 83,717. It looks like a big bear flag if this doesn't reverse in a hurry, but I would be surprised if we don't get some kind of reversal. I just feel like something bigger is happening, but I still know 74K is absolutely in play. So that's something I'm continuing to watch for. So I'm XRP Future Millionaire. I'm going to release this. If you appreciate my content, make sure to hit that subscribe button and join the over 31,300 subscribers. Hit that like button and please share this on social media. It would be fantastic to get the word out. Don't let your emotions dictate a response here. Like, you're not buying a bunch of green candles, but if you're trying to buy red, you got to find the right spot. And we are very red right now. But still understand we're in the midst of, it looks like we still want to flip into wave 5. Seems like we're in a big ABC correction, and now we're back testing the correction. And we're back testing some of these FVGs lower than us, and we have across the market. Now we still have bearish FVGs above us, but it seems like we're being supported more on these lower FVGs, and if we don't break them, this can be a bullish signal here. So A lot to be determined. I'll do a short in a few hours. I'll try to do a live tonight and see what happens, but last night it wasn't available. So we'll see what happens. Have a blessed day, everybody, and I'll see you when I see you.